Hello and welcome back to another Bad Movie Reviews review hosted by your favorite expendable from down under, Ben. I know it's been a while since I've reviewed a few films. I think the last one I covered was Captain America a couple of weeks ago. But I'm back, had a few things on at work, things like that. But I'm happy to be reviewing a film that I think actually, funnily enough, was in my most anticipated for 2024 because I think it was due around March last year. We've now got it, and it is none other than Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17, which is based on the book Mickey 7. Where the extra 10 things came from, no idea, don't ask. But if you're not familiar with Bong's work, this is his first film since he won Best Picture back at the Oscars for 2019, I think it was, in Parasite. Other films he's done in terms of English speaking, he's obviously South Korean. He did Okja from Netflix, Snowpiercer. He's also directed, obviously, Parasite, Memories of a Murder, films like that. So this is something that I've been excited for quite a while, as I'm a big fan of his work. They always have something interesting to say. This film doesn't, sway too far from that. And if you're not familiar with the plot, it's basically just set in essentially hundreds of years in the future, where you've obviously got somewhat of a dictator played in Mark Ruffalo, who basically is going to colonize a new planet and is using expendables to test things out and be like a human guinea pig to basically try and find out what's habitable, what's not. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'll get into that. Now, this film, I think the cast is fantastic. You've obviously got Robert Pattinson, who's playing the dual role as Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. And I do think Robert Pattinson is one of the best working actors today. He does some seriously interesting work, even voice work back in like The Boy and the Heron. Even here, his voice work is immaculate. But the dual role here is one of the best performances I've seen this year so far, only a couple months in. But Mickey 17, somewhat who's very flaccid, just kind of lets everything happen around him, has no view on life, obviously, being an expendable. And then you've got Mickey 18, where they have the clash, where they're both essentially printed out. And Mickey 18 is someone who's very much against the system, wants to ride against it, basically wanting to stand up for it, and very much like cutthroat compared to 17. So you get these two very contrasting Mickeys, which is actually very interesting, but it also shows for a fantastic performance. Stephen Young's also in the film, who I thought was fantastic as Timo. You've got Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette in the film, who obviously play like the dictator role, and then his wife also, who has a serious obsession with sauces, which you can look into, and that stands for something if you wanted to. But overall, I thought the cast was fantastic. Now, I think like all Bong's films, this is very much more kind of aligned to his English language films, whether it be Snowpiercer or Okja, like in terms of things to say, the themes of like social disparity and the power dynamics that are portrayed in the film doesn't really disappear here. It's fun and thought provoking in this film. Some of the film's themes and like thematical sort of investigations really worked for me, and then I think overall the film just kind of lost me a little bit towards the end for my overall feeling of the film. But I thought in terms of the cast, not Tash, Nasha was fantastic. She's bold and brave and no BS and unconditionally loves him. And basically the representation of the dictator in the film, whether it be Mark or Marshall, I think his name was in the film, and essentially showing. See, I thought the thematical look of that is, and this is just my personal opinion, is obviously Mickey's character is completely expendable and a human guinea pig, but it also, I thought, showed how you can almost be expendable yourself. I thought Marshall was very much an expendable character, whether it be the fact that he was so easily manipulated by either his wife or his, second in command to do certain things and to advise that this would look great. And it was a really entertaining view, to be honest. And I thought the world building is something that Bong's always been fantastic, and I thought this was no different. The visual effects are fantastic. The actual film itself looks beautiful. The production design, everything here is top notch, and it doesn't surprise me that this has been like in release limbo, because it is a very not odd film, but is a very Bong film, which for general audiences, he probably hasn't got that reach or accessibility. Because some people will watch this, not, you're probably film fan, but like, people who go like watch it, like Tony Collette, for instance, and Mark Ruffalo are very, very over the top in a perfect way, but in the sense that some people might get off put by that. But overall, I thought the technical immersion of the film is probably what made it the best experience. And that's something that's never really disappeared for Bong's film. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I think it just towards the end, it did lose some aspects for me, and it kind of got lost a little bit. But I thought the look into the themes and the performances are just really what made it. And I can't have to recommend it. Go see it on the biggest screen possible because it does look beautiful. For Robert's performance alone, I do recommend it. If you have seen it, which I think it's been out for a week now, comment below, let me know what you think. If you like the review, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next time.